Listen, guys, you've definitely sent me a couple of videos now of like the incoming caravan and then like another incoming caravan. It seems like they're just coming from all of the angles except the northern border, basically right now. And it's just like, bro, we get it. We get it. But please don't come to the United States of America, bro. I'm sorry. That makes me evil. I know, right? But we currently have 27 cities that are suffering through, almost about to go into bankruptcy, pretty much exclusively due to the migrant crises in multiple cities in the United States of America. Guys, I mean, I get it. You don't care, right? You don't care, but like we care a lot, right? We do care, to the point where the election was almost exclusively based off of the individuals that are coming through the southern border, along with the economy. Those are the two things that won the election. So that should tell you, guys, right? So apparently there's another brand new caravan, right? A group of migrants are making their way to the U.S. before Trump takes office, guys. Yeah, they all are. They are literally like thousands and thousands of people. But either way, listen, this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and check this out immediately, see if this takes us, guys.
Tonight, hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico.
Bro, look at that. Did you say you're not criminals? I think you just said that. Hold on.
Tonight, hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico. A caravan of migrants chanting, "We are not criminals."
How you gonna say you're not okay, I get it. I'm not, we're not gonna keep stopping here. But you can't say you're not a criminal when you're about to break the law coming into the United States of America. Like, you're breaking the law. Okay, you're attempting to claim asylum knowing that you don't qualify for asylum. Right? You're literally breaking the law. But you know what? Do your thing, right? Fraud.
Is rushing
and
to make it to the U.S.-Mexico border before the Trump administration.
Look at this, bro.
Many carrying their belongings in plastic bags and on their backs. And already starting to voice their fears about not being able to cross into the United States come January. I think it will be much more complicated now, says this man who's traveling from Venezuela. Now we are thinking about finding a way to get through before Trump takes the presidency.
Bro,
DHS
look at that.
NBC News that they have not yet seen a surge in migrants heading to the United States, but that they want CBP and ICE officials to be prepared.
One of the first calls I'm going to make is to Mexico. You stop letting people come in through our border.
Trump
right
now vowing to deport.
Because in fact, Mexico is complicit. I don't care anymore, bro. Like, that may sound crazy. How is it their fault? Because you're allowing them to walk through the entirety of your country knowing where they are going. You know where they're going. Okay? You know, in fact, that they are coming to break the law of the United States of America. Okay? You know that. And you're fine with it. You know, if it was any other place, I would say, you know what, we need to do some type of sanctions or something, heavy tariffs. But the problem is that we have a lot of things that are built in Mexico and sold in the United States of America. So we have a tricky situation here, guys. Right? What exactly can we do to make Mexico understand that this actually, in fact, should not be a thing any longer, bro? And what can we do without hurting us?
People come in through our border.
Trump now vowing to deport millions of undocumented migrants, saying his plan has, quote, no price tag. He's also threatening to impose a tariff of 25% on Mexican imports unless Mexico's government curbs what he describes as an onslaught of immigration.
Tariff Mexico. Okay.
Those promises now creating uncertainty and anxiety among migrants making the taxing journey.
Guys, that basically means don't buy any Cadillacs. Cadillac with Chevy, I think also. Ram is being made in Mexico, a couple of them. So just keep that in mind. Just be very strategic with your purchases going forward, I guess. Unless the companies that are actually there in Mexico decide to come directly to the United States of America to kind of bypass the tariff, and then they can sell and hire Americans, basically. If that's the thing, then if that's the reason, other than that, a Mexican tariff is going to be like at that level, 25%. Oh God, guys, that's going to be rough on a lot of industries.
This caravan, which set off with nearly 3,000 people on Election Day, has dwindled to just about half of its original size, according to Reuters. This man from Venezuela saying now that Trump has won, he doesn't know what to do, but returning to Venezuela for him is like being shot in the head. Migrants in Mexican border cities waiting for legal entry through the CBP-1 program now also worried their plans might be upended. Some, like this woman, are anxious that the appointments they've waited months for under the CBP-1 program could be canceled.
Él inició la conversación felicitándome.
On Friday, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum saying she had a, quote, very friendly phone call with Trump in which they congratulated each other's presidential wins and said there will be time in the future to discuss the border issue. Time that many migrants now fear is running out for them.
Okay, Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. So, Ellison, going back to that CBP-1 app that you mentioned, this is something the Biden administration set up. Has the Trump administration or the Trump team said anything yet about what they're going to do with that?
So it's interesting because they obviously spend so much time talking about their plans as it relates to the U.S.-Mexico border. But in terms of comments about CBP-1 in particular, really not a lot of detailed comments from Donald Trump himself. However, back in mid-September, we did find where he mentioned CBP-1 in a post on X and Truth Social. He said in part this, quote, "We will stop all migrant flights, end all illegal entries, terminate the Kamala phone app for smuggling illegals," put in parentheses there, CBP-1 app, and then he went on to list a couple of other things. So he talked about it.
And that can be kind of chaotic because people are in the queue already.
Right, people are in the queue, and what he hasn't said, which is what's making so many people panic, he's made this comment saying, I would terminate that app, but hasn't said when that would happen, hasn't said how, or how it would fit into his broader immigration policies moving forward. And that's part of why so many people are like, we don't know what's going to happen next, but you said you might get rid of this. Even if it was in that one post, it's leading to a lot of additional questions.
And I'm sure we'll learn in January as soon as he takes office. Ellison, we thank you for the...
Thanks, sir.
All right. I can tell you this right now. I'm not like a super fan of terminating a legal pathway into the United States of America. Not at all. I'm not a fan of that one, because the problem is that there are a lot of ways to get into the United States of America, let's say. But there are not many ways that are excessive. Okay. And the CBP-1 app is a way that completely mitigates the issue of illegality in border crossings, let's say. The people who are being approved through the CBP-1 app are, in fact, legal migrants. These are basically the ones who are not the problem. If that makes any sense here, guys. I mean, I have no idea the stats currently on like false or like asylum fraud cases that come from the CBP-1 app, but purely based off of the amount of people that are being let in, those are probably not the actual issues here, guys. I think it just became a talking point during the election, but I think that is a solid legal pathway, okay? Because I think these are the actual asylum or like refugees, guys. These are not the problems. The problem are the ones who are completely bypassing all of that and just coming into the United States of America. That's the lion's share. Updated numbers are like 80 to 90% of the people that have come in should have not been in here, bro. Okay. So that's a concern, let's say. The CBP-1 app, I'm not sure is a concern unless someone knows any, some more information. I read all the comments, guys. So let me know. But legal pathways, under no circumstance, in my head at least, should not be closed. But we should be looking to basically remove 80 to 90% of the migrants that have come in over the last decade, 10 years, 4 years, guys. Keep that in mind. If you came in illegally, not through any legal pathway, you have broken the law. And just like anyone else in the United States of America, we're penalized for breaking the law. But for some reason, there's a class of individuals moving around the United States of America that are not being penalized for what the average American would be penalized for. Like, imagine purposely trespassing on someone's property. Okay, purposely, willfully trespassing. You're going to probably go to jail, specifically if you were told not to come. You knew not to go onto their property because it's not your property, right? So you willfully trespassed on someone's property. We Americans would be sitting in someone's jail for that, okay? For some reason, they are just let in, okay? So you can't say that some individuals are above the law. That's not how the United States of America works, but for some reason, that's what's basically being promoted, let's say. Okay? But all right, guys, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.